Hello everyone, namaste. This is Clarity. Welcome to this video on the mother archetype. I've been waiting to make this video. I was doing a series on the chakras and we explore the wild woman, the maiden, and the warrior at the root, the sacral and the solar plexus. And when it came to the mother, I think I had so much to say and I just had to delay this video, I guess, until now. So I'm really excited to finally share with you some of my insights, some of the deep wisdom that has come to me through working with the mother archetype in many different ways. So first of all, the mother is a frequency of unconditional love. She very much sits at the heart, and this means this is our ability to embrace everything as it is, the light, really seeing people's gifts, really applauding them for all of the light that they bring in the world, and also holding space for their darkness and in general for the darkness that takes place in the world. So really being able to witness that, not turning away. I think we're so conditioned to want to ignore all of the things that are hard to see, all of the suffering, all of the pain, and within ourselves we're not wanting to see the trauma that took place, not wanting to see how we fall short of our values and beliefs sometimes and lack integrity and hurt others. So really being able to witness all of this darkness and also love the darkness, really welcome the darkness as a teacher and as part of life, because everything is made of light and darkness. And the mother is fiercely loving, and so a mother will love its child whether it's committing a crime or not. It's that kind of radical acceptance that is also found in the tantric philosophy that is really hard to wrap our head around, because it's so deep, and it's very healing when we can embody that unconditional love. And there's moments where we're able to see someone's higher self despite their shadow, despite their action or their word, really see how they're a pure divine being. And that's a moment where we'll be able to look at someone with our mother's eyes, our fiercely loving and deeply compassionate eyes. The mother works with the inner child a lot. So when we see someone else, we're seeing that pure aspect of themselves, which is the inner child, the divine child, but also the wounded child. So if someone commits an offense towards another, for example, we're able to see that they're coming from their wounded child. They're not themselves evil. We tend to demonize people, and that creates separation between us and them. The mother instead really recognizes that we are all inside, and we sometimes react from this wounded place, and this is not truly who we are. And so this is the same for ourselves when we're acting out, really connecting to that inner child that is wounded, that is scared, that is coming from a place of trauma, of conditioning. And being able to nourish our inner child is really enabling our mother to take over and to comfort us and to remind us of our truest essence. So she's a very important archetype to work with. I've been working with the mother for a long time through Mother Kali, and she very much brings me that comfort, that compassion to myself and to others, because in times of confusion she's able to remind me that everything is okay, that everything is unfolding the way it's meant to unfold, and I can hold space for that. So she brings me a lot of strength. The mother and the warrior are very connected, especially in the Hindu myths. So Mother Kali is a warrior, mother goddess, Mother Durga, mother warrior goddess. And so that combination of the solar plexus, that fire of serving, of boundaries, of focus, combined with the unconditional love is really the mother as its fullness, because the mother is fearless. When we're trying to protect our children, there's nothing that comes in our way for us to really give ourselves to be able to provide that safety. And similar with when we're on a mission to really accomplish something greater than ourselves, we can tap into our mother that is very selfless, very connected to the sacrifice as a gift, as a virtue, and that is truly that humility of the soul, of the heart, that comes with that grace and that fiercelessness that we experience when we're doing something, again, that is beyond ourselves. So the mother is very giving and very loving, and in giving she really receives a lot. Of course, the energy always flows in and out equally, and so the more we give when we're in the mother, the more we nurture someone, our inner child, the more we're able to really be nourished from the deepest part of ourselves, from our soul. And so that is the energy of really being in the heart. It's that sense of fulfillment in giving and in receiving. And the heart chakra is also that combination, that perfect balance of light and darkness, and very much our ability to withstand both extreme pleasures, extreme ecstasy, and extreme pain and suffering is going to determine how much we're able to live at the heart. We hear that a lot. Listen to your heart, be in your heart, listen from your heart. And this is exactly what it means for me. It's really to be with everything that is. And that balance of light and darkness is also translated in the balance of feminine and masculine. And so we see with the mother and warrior, feminine and masculine, coming together. The mother is very much that nurturing force, but also the pillar, also the strength for her family, for her community, to be able to hold space and provide and really show up and be a teacher and be a healer for us. So there's a lot of masculine qualities that are needed also to be in our mother archetype. The mother is a very balanced archetype. Actually, it's not a very polarized in a feminine sense archetype. And so I'll share some practices to do that, to balance our feminine, masculine, which ultimately will help us to access that mother archetype within us. Let me see my notes here. I think this is more or less what I wanted to share. Unconditional love, light and darkness, that polarity of the heart, the warrior. I wanted to show you my statue of Goddess Kali as well, just to give you a visual of that fierce mother goddess. I have this beautiful statue here that I got in Florida in the tantric ashram where I was staying for a few weeks with my beloved, and he got me this statue on Christmas. So yeah, just very much fierce, loving. People fear Kali, but she's very much that that frequency of unconditional love, and really grounding in the body, grounding in the heart, not fooling anyone, and as a result really healing, really reminding us of our truth, of our essence. So it's been a true blessing to work with Kali, and I'm inspired to make a video about her specifically because there's a lot more symbols around her that are teaching a lot about the tantric philosophy. So some of the practices that you can do to really connect to the mother is that balancing of the feminine, masculine. And one thing that is really simple about the feminine, masculine, and it can get complex because people think too much about feminine, masculine and what it means, and that concept is also influenced by what we think of man and woman. which is not always related to feminine and masculine. So one really easy way to think about it is to understand that they always balance each other. So whenever you're too masculine in a situation, let's say you're too controlling, your ego, your sense of identity, your sense of self is too big, you're maybe being greedy, you're maybe being competitive, comparing yourself, also very goal-oriented, very focused, all these masculine qualities, bringing some feminine, inclusive, compassionate qualities to your approach to the situation, or just to have that a different perspective of the situation, will automatically help you to balance your approach and find more harmony within the situation. So that's just a very basic example. When we're too much in our feminine, it's when we're losing our sense of self, when we become codependent, when we're letting yourself be too influenced by someone else's action. We need that strong masculine, that strong sense of self that is reminding us of what are our priorities, what are our values in a situation, what do we want from ourselves, and really asserting that. And so these are just really simple examples that we can apply basically to any situation in our life. Maybe even physically, you're trying to be too masculine in your yoga practice, you're being a bit too goal-oriented, you want to be able to do all these plank positions with like all these extra moves included in it, and you're comparing yourself to others. You need to bring a little bit more feminine to your practice to balance that. So really, again, nourishing yourself, having compassion for yourself, meeting yourself where you're at, also connecting to your inner child, even in your yoga practice. It's really beautiful. It basically means connecting to your soul, connecting to your heart. So yeah, feel free to ask any questions if you have about the feminine, masculine. Just wanted to give a very simple way to understand how they work together and how they always balance each other. Another more intense way to work with the feminine, masculine is to work with one or the other more specifically. And so if you're working on your masculine, really seeing how you see man, how you embody these qualities within your life of the masculine, whether you're able to show up for yourself, show up on time, be responsible, organize your life logically, think rationally, etc. Things that are extremely useful and perhaps overdone, but some people are not able to function in that way, and really being masculine can help them actually to find more balance. And then if you're being too masculine, if you have, for example, your job, or typically your mother, and you need to always show up for others and do a million things, bringing that feminine, compassionate beingness aspect to your life will help you to, again, find harmony and work with both these energies, which will help you always to find your center and to nourish that center, so that you can show up in the light, in the world, in the way that you're wanting to show up, or you're needing to show up, or you're feeling called to show up as a teacher, as a healer, as a mother, etc. Having compassionate for self and others is a very simple practice that we can do every day. I grew up being very judgmental. I grew up in Switzerland, and just the culture around me was always criticizing. It's that kind of French influence. I grew up with the French influence culture, and it's always kind of making fun of others, criticizing others as a joke, but it's really kind of mean. And so for me, building compassion and kindness was extremely healing to heal that kind of shadow that I had built up in myself. And so anytime we're seeing ourselves being judgmental, and this can really mean to the extreme, so whatever person on the news has turned out to have done something horrible, can you find that space within yourself to have compassion for this person, to see their inner child, And when you're not showing up in your life the way you would want to, can you have compassion for yourself and see that, you know, you're tired and you're not perfect, and hold space for all of that you are, not just the good things, not just the bad things, but really both. We're complex beings. We're always multifaceted, and yeah, just the mother is just with her big arms just embracing all of it and holding that tightly to remind you that it's okay to be all of these things, and all of it is sacred, all of it is you, and it's beautiful. Connecting to Mother Earth, so everything that I mentioned about the mother can be applied to the earth itself. She's the ultimate embodiment of the goddess, of the mother goddess. And for the longest time in history, many cultures around the world, all cultures, indigenous cultures, shamanic cultures, have been worshipping the earth as the mother goddess. So I really wanted to be clear on that. That is the ultimate mother energy, is found in Mother Gaia, and we can access that nourishing, fierce, loving energy through our body every time we're grounded, every time we're grounding in our body, in ourself, in our roots, every time we're in nature, really honoring Mother Nature, seeing her beauty, communicating with her in whatever feels good. In your yoga practice, drawing her energy up through your root into your heart, and then out through your heart into her, sending her love through prayers, etc. Really blessing your food. All of these things ultimately nourish your connection, your relationship with Mother Earth, and that in itself is extremely nourishing and grounding, and that is almost all you need to know about the mother. That is the direct experience of the mother energy, is going to be found through connection with the earth. And at last, I just wrote worshipping the goddess as the great cosmic mother. And so the mother archetype is really extremely important, I want to say, in it's like the father, right? In Christianity, it's all about the father god. Well, the mother goddess is just as important in our spirituality. If we decide to connect with the goddess, it's going to be the mother, always the mother goddess, because life comes from the mother, right? As above, so below, as within, so without. So if we're created as human being within the mother's womb, then we're created through the great cosmic womb of the mother goddess as well. So the mother is a very powerful archetype to start worshiping the goddess in general, if we decide to shift perhaps towards just trying to connect with a more feminine archetype as the giver of life, of reality. Everything is made of the goddess. Everything is the goddess. Everything is the mother, and she's everywhere. And our connection to our mother is our connection to source, because this is where we come from. And so it's that direct connection to source, or God, or the goddess. And again, reminding us of our truth, reminding us of our inner child, our soul, and that deeply loving and nourishing force that we find in our heart. So yeah, there's a lot of everything there. It's a big topic. So I hope you connect to it in your own ways, and if you have any insights, feel free to share on this video. And I just wanted to share that I'm doing an tantric retreat for women on April 28th, and as with all my offerings, we're always connecting to Mother Earth, connecting to the Mother Goddess. So if you're curious to experience that, please join us on this retreat called the Embodied Goddess. I'd be very happy to host you and to have you in our sacred space. So thanks for watching. See you soon.